Michael Andretti has a chance of picking up over $68,000 if he wins this race and become the top mini winner this year with over $400,000. 99 laps have just been completed, and Michael Andretti continues to hold on to the lead. We will resume with our live coverage right after this message. As you rejoin us here at Portland International Raceway, there is some real concern that has surfaced in the last lap about whether or not Michael is going to have the fuel to finish. He reportedly has told his crew that he doesn't think he can finish this race. So the next 4 laps are going to be very important in the outcome of this race. Mario Andretti is running second. Can Michael have enough fuel to go the distance?
There's Sandy, his wife. She obviously has heard the news, and she's very, very concerned. The last 4 laps, the gap was 8.6, came down to 7.9, 7.2, and now it's 6.2. So Michael Andretti is definitely in trouble. He's definitely conservative at the moment.
Gonna be an interesting conclusion here. Michael may have to either turn down the boost to the point that his father can catch him, or he may run out of fuel completely.
Some of you may remember the Indianapolis 500 when Bobby Rahal's light came on, the fuel light. These cars carry a fuel light. When it gets down to the last couple of gallons, the fuel light comes on, warning the driver. Now, if Michael has told his crew that he doesn't think he's going to make it, that means the light is on. But now with Bobby Rahal, he said the light broke, and it came on 4 or 5 laps earlier. So Michael now has the risk of whether he backs off and lets everybody catch him, or whether he believes the light and stays on the power and runs out of fuel.
Passing Ed Pym and putting Ed another lap down. Ed now goes 3 laps down, but continues to run in 6th position. And we understand that Pym may be out of fuel. He is only coasting on the backstretch, so he may have run out of fuel completely.
Here's the 2nd and 3rd car. There's Mario in your picture now. There's little Al Jr. just behind him. So here's the leader. You'll just see the gap now. You'll actually see it. It was 6.1 last lap. That's Michael, Jeff Brabham, who's lapped, and Mario just gone out of your picture there. So the gap is reducing all the time, every lap.
It definitely is, and we've completed 102 laps. Next time around, they'll get the white flag. There'll be only 1 more lap to go. They're averaging 107.828 miles an hour at the end of 100 laps. The question is, does Michael Andretti have the fuel to complete about a lap and 3/4 right now? He is being chased by his father, Mario, and Al Unser Jr. There they are. They've been running 2nd and 3rd for several laps. Al Unser Jr. has been unable to pass Mario, staying in 3rd position. Here's Michael Andretti going through corner number 6 and onto the backstretch, and here comes 2nd and 3rd position. Jeff Brabham raises his hand, directing Mario and little Al by, so they can set off to catch the leader, Michael Andretti.
That's a good professional move by Jeff, because there's no need for him to be there. He's not in the race battle. He just lets the guys go ahead and just finish the race on their own terms.
Here comes Michael Andretti off of corner number 9. He's on the main straightaway, and the white flag is showing he only has 1 more lap to go. Less than 2 miles, and this race will be over. Let's see if that car has enough fuel to go the distance. His wife looks toward the heavens and says a moment of prayer, hoping that her husband does have the fuel that will put him in victory lane for the 2nd consecutive IndyCar race. Last week, a dominant winner at Milwaukee on the Mile Oval. A completely different kind of racetrack here this afternoon in Portland, Oregon. But he still has the lead. He's rounding corner number 3 now, heading slightly uphill into corner number 5.
The gap when he passed our booth was 2.9 seconds, so he is very, very conservative. Mario is catching him at the rate of 2 seconds a lap.
He is on the backstretch on his final lap. This normally would be the 2nd fastest portion of the racetrack, but Michael Andretti is not going as fast this time as he has in previous laps. It appears as if he is going to make it. He's in corner number 9, the final corner on the racetrack. He comes off the 9th corner. The car is a little slow coming off the corner. He's out of fuel. He is out of fuel, dropping to the inside. And here comes the finish line. Who's going to win it? I think it's impossible to say at this point who won the race.
It looks like Mario.
Unbelievable. Michael ran out of fuel as the car came off the 9th corner. He dropped to the inside. Mario and Little Al were coming quickly. They pulled up and they finished literally side by side at the start-finish line. It appears as if Mario might have won, but we're going to hold off any definite conclusion on that until we can study perhaps the videotape.
Officially, we have Mario as the winner, Michael in second and Al Jr. in third. And I think Michael's wife also thinks that he's lost it because she is in tears down in pit lane at the moment.
Well, it's perhaps the closest and best IndyCar finish in history. Let's go to Jack Arute, who was at the start-finish line. Jack, in your opinion, who won?
No question. Mario Andretti beat him by a scant 4 inches. It was that close. It sputtered. It spurted. Mario, with the killer instinct, even though it was his son, stayed in the throttle as they came across the stripe. It was that close.
Well, the data speed does show indeed Mario Andretti as the winner of the race. Michael second and Al Unser Jr. third. Well,
we said earlier on that Mario was going to pick up second place points, which he probably didn't deserve on the team's performance this weekend. Here he is with first place points, so hey, he deserves it now because he's done the job. He hung on in there. He drove hard.
I don't remember ever an IndyCar race as close as that. Do you, Derek?
This is a regular Formula One thing when people run out of fuel with 1 lap to go, but we've never actually seen it in IndyCars. And many, many times we've spoken about fuel and fuel problems at the end of these IndyCar races. And when the cars do finish, you think, well, what are they talking about? But here's a prime example where we knew Michael was in trouble and we just waited and waited. We thought he would get away with it, but he didn't. Mario just caught him at the end.
Wow. Mario Andretti has won the G.I. Joe's Budweiser 200 from Portland. He only led 1 lap, and that was the last lap, and he won by a matter of inches over his son Michael, who led most of this race. Victory lane beginning to form now down there on the start-finish line on the racetrack itself. Jack Arute has made his way into that area of the race course, and we'll get a word with Mario in just a few moments. To once again explain what happened, Michael Andretti had about a 6-second lead with about 10 laps to go, but ran out of fuel coming off of the final corner on the final lap. He dropped to the inside of the racetrack. His father Mario passed him at the start-finish line to win. Michael finished second. Al Unser Jr. was right there also in third position. So we will be back to talk with the winner and the surprise winner of this 200-mile IndyCar race here in Portland in just a moment.
There have been some
Tremendously exciting for this IndyCar race here in Portland. The winner is Mario Andretti. Second, Michael. Third, Al Unser Jr. Fourth was Tom Sneva. And fifth was Jacques Villeneuve. It is the closest IndyCar finish in history. 14 100ths of a second, and here is the end of the race. Derek?
You see Michael round the last turn here. Now immediately you can see he's in trouble because he's in the middle of the road, the shortest route to that checkered flag. He's in the middle, hoping, just hoping and praying that there's enough fuel to get him over the line. You can see Mario closes, and they just get to the line here. And Mario is what? A nose cone ahead?
Yeah, 14 hundredths of a second was the closest finish until today. That was at the Michigan 500 that Andretti won as well. But this one was even closer than that. This has to be measured in feet or even inches. Unbelievable finish, and really a big disappointment for Michael, who definitely had the superior car all afternoon.
Here we see it again. These two lines across the track at the finish line. Mario is just about the length of his nose cone ahead. So he pays back Michael for the little tap that Michael gave him earlier on.
So Mario had his last win here at Portland last year, and he begins another perhaps streak here this afternoon. Today's Winner's Circle interview is being brought to you by Goodyear Eagles. You either have Goodyear Eagles or you need them. Here is Jack Arute.
Well, Mario Andretti, happy Father's Day.
Well, I tell you, I take that. It's the most wonderful greetings he could have given me today, and I guess Michael just ran out of fuel on time, and funny thing is, I don't pity him at all.
You know, you always said all the time that Michael came up and started running Indy cars, and people like us would say, well, what if it came down to you and your son? Would you stay out of it? No question now what you'll do.
Well, the man upstairs is good to us because, as I said, we've been dreaming about these things, and what a day for it to happen. As I said, both of us can really smile broadly, but it's just a wonderful thing, and I'm sure it's going to reverse, and it'll all even out. But for us, for the team, it's really fantastic.
Well, the guy that's coming in to make the congratulations right now is Michael Andretti. Tough break for you, Michael. What do you think, though? When you knew that you were running out of fuel and you knew that it was your father behind you?
Well, I knew it was going to be real close. In the last lap, I could barely keep the car running, and off of the last corner, it just died, and that's how he got me. But anybody's going to beat me, I'm glad it was him.
Mixed feelings at all?
Well, a little bit, for sure. You know, I wish we could have won, not only for me, but the crew and everything. But I also want to say sorry to Danny Sullivan. I didn't really mean to do that. It was just one of those things.
Do you want to say anything to your dad right now on national television?
Well, happy Father's Day, Dad.
That's the story from Victory Lane, and it's all Andretti.
It's the closest IndyCar finish in history. Make that 7/100ths of a second. Mario wins over Michael. Well, today's Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200 has been brought to you by Goodyear. You either have Goodyear Eagles or you need them. By Mobil 1 Synthetic Motor Oil. Mobil 1 protects your engine better than any conventional motor oil. And by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. Thanks to Jackaroot for working the pit area and Derek Daly for his help in the booth. Once again, Mario wins over Michael in the closest IndyCar finish ever. This is Bob Jenkins. Thank you for joining us. So long, everyone.